Remember, remember the 5th of November when this girl married a croc. Welcome to Crocs in the Kitchen.
Oh, that's where I say, I'm Jessica.
And I am Brian. Today we are actually going to talk about us.
Yay.
And our relationship, you know?
Yes, so our anniversary is coming up in a few days. We actually, when you're watching this, it will be November 6th, and our anniversary is on November 5th.
Yep, which makes it super easy for me to remember because remember the 5th of November.
Yay.
It's just nice. It's a nice little thing. Actually, it was kind of funny because one of my friends reminded me of that poem about the gunpowder treason. And so like now I cannot, absolutely impossible for me to forget my anniversary. So.
I have no idea what reference he's making, but...
It's V for Vendetta,
kind of
come on.
It's
V for Vendetta.
I don't know.
It's a graphic novel and movie.
Okay. Sorry.
But yes, we got married November 5th, way back in 2011. Yes. And we've been going strong ever since. And we kind of wanted to touch, since it was our anniversary, we wanted to touch on how this has all sort of affected our lives. You know, this, our weight loss and, you know, the YouTube stuff and like kind of, you know, all of it.
Yeah,
a bunch of different things.
We definitely want, so we've been married for 8 years, if you didn't do the math there already. And we just wanted to talk about how the weight loss journey.
Hey.
Oh, sorry.
Adventure.
Get
it right.
The weight loss adventure has affected us, and also even going back before that, how, you know, the weight problems we had before affected us.
Yes.
And as a couple, and, you know, different things like that. But we also have a couple other things to discuss.
Yes.
Oh, no, you go.
Okay, fine. I was just going to say, so let's go back to the beginning.
Ooh.
Yes, so Jessica and I met a long time ago.
Yes, if you haven't heard the entire story, we'll give you a little brief version here. But if you watch our personal Q&A video, which is linked below, you'll see a more in-depth story there of how we met and all that stuff.
Yes. But we met because she randomly messaged me on MySpace and I didn't respond. And then she responded a week later and said, I can tell when somebody doesn't want to talk to me. And our friendship was cemented that day. And we were friends for a good while and eventually started actually going out. But we met for the very first time in person at a little gazebo in Webster Groves, which is a section of St. Louis County, right?
Wow.
It's a city in St. Louis County. It's a nice city. It's got some old homes there and stuff. It's really good. But also there's Webster University, which is where Jessica went to college. And so that's why we ended up meeting over there, because I knew the area and she was going to school there. And so it was just a nice little common place for us to meet.
Well, I wanted to pick somewhere that was public and was very open.
Yeah, because I could have been a psycho.
If this dude that I was meeting decided to murder me, at least it would be in public square.
Yeah,
so.
At least I would murder her in public.
So I picked the gazebo, and it's weird because, again, we were friends at that time, but it became like kind of this romantic thing that we met at a gazebo because it's just romantic and nice.
But every year after that, we would end up meeting at the gazebo again.
Yeah.
And then going out and kind of repeating our first day together.
Yeah.
Where
it was
we
January 16th.
Yep. And we would go, we would have lunch, we would go to the record store right next to it, and just generally have like a nice little day. So cut forward a couple more years.
I think it was maybe the third year that we were doing, like we'd been dating for 2 or 3 years at that point.
Yes, we'd been together for a little bit.
Okay, so I'm walking up to the gazebo, right?
Oh, she's gonna tell
and
the
it's
story.
pretty cold out, and I remember it being a little bit cold.
January.
Yes, and I'm walking up to the gazebo, and there is Brian standing at the gazebo, because we would always meet there. Like, we wouldn't meet somewhere else. It would be like us walking up to the gazebo because that's what we did on the first day we met. And so I walked up, and he was holding his guitar. And now Brian is a musician. He sings, he has a great voice. It's one of the reasons I fell in love with him. But he plays guitar and he writes songs. And so he started singing me this song, But the weird thing I noticed was there was a ribbon tied around the guitar. And I, of course, was like, why is there a ribbon on the guitar? And that kind of threw me off and was like, is he proposing? Like, is that what's happening? But I was totally caught off guard. And then...
So I wrote a song, and it was basically just a song about how I felt about her. But the last line in the song is, "It's you who makes me believe," and then the chorus would continue to say, "So believe in me." But I changed the last line of the song, "So it's you who makes me believe, so marry me." And I got down on one knee, popped out the ring, and Jessica's response was...
I don't remember. It was like...
What? Are you serious? And I said, "Yes, I am serious." And she said...
What? Are you serious?
Yes.
I said yes.
I'm very serious. And then you said...
Wait, did I ask you if you were serious twice?
You said it 3 times, my dear.
What? Are you serious?
And I said, "Yes, I'm serious. Now give me an answer. It's cold." And she said yes.
Yay.
And so that's how we ended up getting engaged. She was very, very shocked because at the time I was unemployed.
And so I was like, where did you get money for this ring?
I scraped everything together as best I could and ended up getting what I thought was a fantastic ring.
I love my ring.
Side note on the ring, when I went to check out to actually purchase a ring for her, I came down to 2 different rings. All right? 2 different rings. I didn't know which one to go for. And I was like, hold these 2, let me think about it, I'll come back and I'll pick up the one that I finally decide. That night, I'm not kidding, I had a dream. And in that dream, Jessica was wearing this ring right there. And so that's how I knew to go back and get that ring. And when I showed her the other ring that I possibly would have chosen, she was like, "Oh God, no." And so yeah, I made the right decision. I trust what goes on in my head.
Another side note on the ring is that actually this is the first anniversary that I'll actually be wearing my ring for, like, I don't know if I was wearing it maybe on our first anniversary. I was wearing it. But I haven't been wearing it for the last like 5 or 6 years because I couldn't fit into it.
Yeah.
So and
she refused to get it resized.
As we told you guys before, I had lost a bunch of weight before we got married. So I'd already had it sized down for that. And right now I weigh a little bit less than when we got married. But I'd already had it sized down to where it was when we got married. And so I didn't want to keep sizing it up and down because that can like mess with it. And I just didn't want to do that. Plus I didn't want to give into that defeat of like, yes, I'm getting it sized up, you know? It's like, I don't know, it would just bum me out.
Yeah.
So I just didn't wear it. Like, I just left it in a drawer, and throughout our whole weight loss adventure, I've been trying it on from time to time, like, does it fit yet? Does it fit yet? And it finally fit a few months ago. It started fitting. And so it's weird. I'm like getting used to wearing this ring. Like,
and mine, I've got the opposite problem.
Yeah.
It's completely loose on me now, and I need to like
it can't get resized.
It can't get resized because it's cobalt, and so I'm gonna have to get like some kind of a spacer or something because I don't want. I love this ring. This is like.
Yeah.
I told people long time ago the only piece of jewelry that I was ever really going to wear was my wedding ring. So
and
that's
your
why
little bracelets.
I don't count that as jewelry though.
Okay.
So those are just reminders. But
yes.
So
yeah, our marriage, we were engaged for a few years before we got married.
I was getting stuff in order. I was going to school, and then I ended up getting like my first full-time job in radio.
Yeah, one of my stipulations was, I was like, I'll marry you, but you gotta have a full-time job before I'll really marry you.
Yeah.
So we were engaged for a few years, and then, you know, the wedding, we started finally planning it. Actually, we started planning it like I think it was like a year or 2 years after, on that same January 16th anniversary, that same like lunch is when we started planning it. And so that was fun. Our wedding was a really great day. We'll show you some pictures of that here. You can see, like, you know, it's confusing. My weight throughout time is very confusing. Like I said, I weighed about what I do now when we got married. So I actually am interested. My wedding dress is in a box that was like preserved and everything. And at one point I want to take it out and like just see what it looks like if they actually cleaned it, because it's just in this box that's sealed, and I can't. It's like plastic wrap and everything. And so I want to try it on again someday and just maybe on our 10th anniversary.
I don't know. My tuxedo was a rental, so I'd have to go and get another rental. But I already know that the one that I had would definitely be way too big, because recently I tried on a suit that I owned many years ago, and it was way too small for me for a long time, and now it's too big on me. So
somebody actually asked us the other day, was it on our website? I think it was on our website, and the person who asked us this question like gets me and understands me. That's what I sent. I sent it to Brian and Martin, the Great Potato Mage, and I was like, this person gets me. They asked me if Peef was in our wedding, and a few other questions about Peef. But yes, of course Peef was in our wedding.
Yeah.
He was the ring bearer bear.
Yep.
So like instead of like a ring bearer, the ring bearer, which was our nephew holding
like a pillow,
he held Peef.
Who then held the rings.
Yeah, who then held the rings, and he walked down the aisle with him. And then we have photos with him. Of course, he was there. I don't remember what I did with him during like the rest of it, because it was like, because Peef, I'm very protective of Peef. Like I don't let just anybody handle Peef.
That is true.
Anyway.
But yeah, Peef was a part of our wedding.
Yes, he was. So you can see the pictures of that.
Yeah. But I think it's time that we actually got into now the future.
Oh, yeah.
Where you and I were just about to start onto our weight loss adventure.
Yeah.
And we mentioned this before, there were definitely some friction going on in our relationship.
Really?
We were arguing a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, like we absolutely love each other. Like, I mean, this is like an unbreakable kind of love for us. And, but, sometimes that emotions just start to run, and, all of these things sort of build up, and it just creates more and more problems. And, it's like, exactly what it is. You know exactly the root cause of what's actually happening, but you don't know how to change it. And so you just keep getting more and more frustrated at the situation.
I think before we started the weight loss, we were both in a place where, I know I was disappointed in myself. I was frustrated with myself. But then as a couple, it's like we were enabling each other for so many years. We enabled each other to continue on this, like, just binge eating, like, not controlling our diet, any kind of not losing any weight and gaining a bunch of weight and all that stuff. We enabled ourselves to do that. And so I think part of me was, I was disappointed in myself, but then I also maybe like resented you a bit for enabling me, and resented myself for enabling you. And I felt bad because I knew that I had a problem. Like, obviously, like, I was approaching 300 pounds, and that's not healthy at all. But for Brian, it was like another level almost. And I felt responsible for helping him navigate that and getting his weight under control. And the fact that I wasn't able to do that, I felt all these things just created so much tension that we were definitely fighting a lot more than we do now.
But then we ate 2 weeks of plain baked potatoes, and it solved our problems magically.
The crazy thing about the potatoes, and we discussed this previously a little bit, but during those 2 weeks, like, everyone asked, how'd you get through it? And like it was only with each other, because every day I was having a bad day, Brian was having a good day. Yeah. As good as he could. And vice versa. And so it worked out because we were able to lift each other up when we needed each other. And but then moving on, this whole, I'm going to say journey, and you hate it. No.
Go ahead.
This whole adventure that we're on right now, like, or whatever, like we were being creative, but we were using each other's talents in creating recipes and stuff like that. And so it made us happier. Like, it made us feel like more achieved and whatever. And so doing this whole way of eating that we have now together, it just, I don't know, it feels right. I feel better. I feel like we're on such a good path. Yeah. And it's just made us a lot happier as people.
So before we started the channel, everything was sort of improving with our relationship. Things were definitely getting better. She was less anxious about things. She was getting less angry about certain things. And I was becoming more active, more involved in our lives, and because I was simply just losing the weight so I could move around more and I had more energy. And everything just sort of slowly kept getting a little bit better every day, a little bit better every week, you know, a little bit better. And it finally all sort of came together when we actually decided to do the YouTube channel, because then we started working on a project together. And little known fact here, Jessica and I actually had never worked on a project really together before we started doing the YouTube stuff. We've done little bits and pieces here, but we've never actually like completely, the both of us focused on one project alone. And that's when we discovered that our talents are divvied up very nicely for doing the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like I'm great at editing. I started out as an audio editor, and then I've sort of transitioned now to doing video just for the channel. You know, figuring out a lot of stuff, doing that kind of thing. I love setting up shots. I love, like, you know, figuring out the recording aspect of it. And then Jessica, you're like super amazing at all of the other social media stuff and the marketing, and just like presenting the package of our channel to people.
It's interesting because when we make videos, people ask like, do you guys ever argue about the videos?
All the time.
Yes. But it's like constructive arguing. It's not like it's not like petty stuff, but
So one of the favorite things that she does though, she'll be like, you know, it's like, so what? Do you want to just like stop doing videos? And I'll just be like, no, I need you to fight with me right now. I need you to make me better, because I'm going to do the lazy thing, and I'm going to do the simplest, most efficient thing that I can do. And I need you to fight me to make it better.
I'm always trying to get, my big thing is I love close-up shots. So when I'm making food, like when I'm watching a recipe, I want to see a close-up shot of it. And so that's one of my big things. So we'll have this whole thing set up and we'll film and whatever. And I'll be like, oh, we need to get a close-up thing. And Brian's just so ready to be done. But for me, the other thing is I think about stuff in a way of like, what information is someone going to need from this, or what I'm a little bit detail oriented, if you couldn't tell. And so I'm always thinking like, oh, what detail might they need? Or if I was watching this video, what would I want to know? And Brian's trying to be efficient and make sure the video flows and everything like that.
Yeah, if it was just her, the video would never get done.
The video would be like 3 hours long.
If it was just me, it'd be single shot videos, pretty much just like this.
Yes.
For the entire thing.
So it's the balance that actually makes it better. It can get a bit frustrating sometimes because I push it too far one way or he pushes it too far another way. But we always meet in the middle and compromise, and then I think the videos turn out better because of it.
Yes.
But yeah, the thing with our skill sets aligning was so weird to me, because after the first few months, I was like, how have we never worked together before on anything? Because it's like where, you know, what skills he has. Like I have edited video before, but I absolutely hate it. And so we've been talking about doing a YouTube channel for years on different topics.
No clue what we were,
One of them was going to be an arcade channel. Surprise, surprise. But the thing is, like, I didn't want to do video editing. And so when Brian was able to pick up that really easily and start learning that kind of was a game changer for us, because I like writing and putting together photos and doing the blogs and all that kind of stuff. And so literally whenever we're working on a video, it's like I'm over there for several hours working on my thing, editing my photos, writing the thing, and he's over on his computer doing all the edits to the video, and then we come together at the end and look at each other's stuff, and then it's, you know, it works out. Yeah. So, and honestly, being this productive, and I mean, it's been overwhelming, because it's been one of those, I'm not gonna cry, don't worry. It's been one of those things though, where it's like, we're starting to get more and more of those stories from people of how we've impacted their lives. And I think that it's great that we can do this together, and we can have such an impact on other people and hopefully help people out, and, you know, show people that we're just two regular people and we can make this change, so can you. And to do something like that together, I can't explain it, but it has made our marriage so much stronger. Yeah,
easily. This last year plus has been the best year of our marriage, hands down. You know, it was like great honeymoon period, and then it was just kind of like, we're trying to keep this going. You know, it's like we're both in this for the absolute long haul, but we're really, really struggling right now. And then in the last year plus, it's been, I wouldn't say a breeze, but it's definitely been incredible. And I think that the sense of satisfaction in our marriage is at an all-time high.
Yeah. The other thing that we wanted to talk about, so unless you had any other thoughts on how this has impacted our marriage.
No, I can't really think of anything.
So the thing that we were thinking about, like what we would talk about in this video, because I was like, oh, our anniversary's coming up. Let's do like an anniversary special kind of thing. And one of the questions we get a lot from people, and I don't know how to answer them, is, you know, okay, it's great that you guys have each other, but if I'm doing this by myself, do you have any advice for me? If my family's not doing this, if I am not married, if I don't, you know, if I live alone, those kind of things. And I just can't imagine how much, I think it would be more difficult for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know, I think it's a double-edged thing because you and I, it's like we've said before, we do good stuff like, you know, get our diet on track together, but we also sabotage ourselves together and enable us to eat and binge and gain weight together. So we've done both of those things.
Yes.
So it's a slippery slope. Like when I travel without Brian, I am more on track than when I travel with Brian, which, you know, so there are negative sides to it, to having someone else who's in it with you, because then they're in it with you when you decide to jump ship on it. But I think that for anybody who's doing this without, you know, somebody else, and they have other people in the house who are eating different things, maybe they're preparing meals for their kids or other people who aren't following it, I want to be able to help those people out. So if anybody is out there doing that and you have any advice that you could give to those people, if you could comment below. Yes, please. And give that advice, it would be amazing, because I think people need to hear that directly from people who are doing that. Yeah. Not us. We can only guess.
It's a perspective that we don't have.
Yeah. And maybe maybe once you guys post all the advice, maybe we'll do another video about that and and highlight some of the things that you guys have said.
Absolutely.
But I would love to get that advice from other people, whether you're doing this and you don't have anybody else in your household, you're doing it and you have, you know, a wife or a husband who's not doing it, or, you know, a partner who's not doing it. You have kids who aren't doing it. You have kids that you're trying to, you know, get to follow a whole food plant-based diet and how that works out. Any of that kind of stuff. Like, it's just all interesting to me.
Yes. So please comment below with any advice that you might have, any tips or tricks that could help somebody else out in their adventure by themselves.
Yeah.
But Jessica,
yes,
if these people would like to get in contact with us.
Wait, I'm going to check my clipboard to make sure we got all the points. Hold on. Stand by.
Really? You go for the, like, Twilight Zone theme song?
I don't know what Twilight Zone is. Okay.
Child.
Intro. Okay, did that. Talk about things. Yep. Marriage. MySpace. Gazebo. Personal Q&A. Proposed, song, rings, peef, wedding day, diet, YouTube, advice. Okay, we got it all.
All right. If you would like to contact us, you can do so once again by commenting down below. Also, if you're going to do that, please give the video a like and share it out if you are so inclined. But if you want to find us someplace else, you can find us on Facebook. Just search for Krocks in the Kitchen. That's Krocks with a K. Or you can search on Instagram for also Krocks in the Kitchen, and you will find a bunch of photos and a bunch of stories that Jessica has done. And on Facebook, you will of course find other photos and whatnot. And I think we said it in a video before, if you message us on Facebook, you will get me. If you message us on Instagram, you will get Jessica. So if any of you have any generally specific questions for one of us, kind of like go in that direction. And we will hopefully get back to you as soon as we possibly can. We do really enjoy answering people's comments and messages.
Yes.
Also, if you have not subscribed, please do so and click the bell that is right next to it, because that means that you will get all of the notifications for whenever we post new videos, and we would greatly appreciate that.
Yes, we do videos twice a week. In
yes,
case
we do.
You didn't know.
And we try to stay on top of that.
We really, it's hard to stick to that schedule, but
they may go out at 11:59 on a Wednesday night, but by God, they're going out.
Yes, it is hard. We do work full-time jobs. We each have our full-time jobs, so This is like our side project.
Yes.
But we work really hard to make sure that those go out for you guys. So yeah, check them out.
Yes, please do so. But I think that's all I got.
That's all I got.
Jessica,
Yes.
I love you.
Oh, I love you.
Happy anniversary.
Thanks.
We will see you next time on Crocs in the Kitchen. Bye.